I think.
No, there you go.
There we go. Now we are.
All right. Hey, everyone. This is the live show that we do every day now, 10:30 Eastern. And today, whoa.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Today is a ton of huge college basketball games, right?
Yes,
Big Man on campus?
Big Man on campus is back with us.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Big
up,
Man,
guys?
you there?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Pretty good. There's a huge ton of interesting marquee matchups, and then other matchups in basketball that are interesting, and many of them are both. How many plays do you have for today that you're liking?
I got three, guys.
Three? All right. Let me just tell you some of the things that I was thinking about and see if you agree with my opinion. First of all, I was thinking yesterday you said that you like Ole Miss, and when I looked into that more, I wound up completely agreeing with that, and I wound up giving that officially.
Great
call. And I'm feeling somewhat the same today about Penn State against Michigan. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, if Michigan shots aren't falling, they're going to get beat. And Penn State, look, I mean, they're playing better. They're starting to get people healthy. They had a little bout of the flu recently, but I don't know. That's so tough, Peter, because Michigan's really good at home normally, and generally they're a really effective three-point shooting team. And at home, they've been fantastic. That's a tough one. I'm not a big fan of Penn State. I don't think they're very good. Just because they won against Rutgers doesn't really mean much to me.
Right.
I actually think they're the worst team in the Big Ten anyway. So,
but the thing is that Michigan's had repeated kind of bad performances and losses to teams that they could have beaten, and so Michigan's been way underachieving. Sorry,
I guess I look at the at the end of the day, I think Michigan's a much better team than Penn State. I look at what Michigan does defensively, and lately they've been absolutely great offensively, 86 points a game. I'm not one to back that. I don't think there is a live dog. I got a feeling that's like an 85-70 type of game. Honestly.
Right. I could certainly see that. All right, then let's
say real quick. I want to just let our viewers know that again, none of us ever tap ourselves, but I hope they're following because we're producing. Big Man had Wisconsin yesterday, along with Ole Miss, right?
Yeah.
And that was brilliant. I mean, that was a freaking sharp call. So I just want our viewers to know this is no fluke. We've been producing ever since we've all been together. Kentucky got it done yesterday.
Yeah,
I had a power pick yesterday that I tweeted out to some individuals on West Virginia first half, which ended up covering. They lose the game. So I feel some momentum coming. And I like one game today that after you guys get done breaking, I want to get your thoughts on.
All right. Well, it might be. I wanted to ask about. There's a bunch of small road favorites that are kind of tempting or trappy. And let's talk about the big one, Villanova Butler.
What do you think? Nova's got to bounce back.
I mean, Butler obviously a great team, but my sense is that I know it's like Scream's trap, the biggest trap of the season or whatever. But my sense is that at -1, Villanova probably is the play.
It is.
Do you disagree with that?
I mean, Villanova's won 20 straight games. It's hard to get in front of them right now. I mean, honestly, Butler has never beaten Villanova ever.
Right.
This is the first time they're hosting a #1 opponent since 1963. Or 63 years, I'm sorry. That's a long time. Butler's decent. I don't think they're on the same level of Villanova.
Right.
I'm not willing to step in front of that train, especially all they had to do is win. No way.
But you wouldn't bet Villanova?
Oh, yeah, I would bet Villanova. That would be the only way I'd look at this.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not betting Butler. No.
I am. That's one of my picks, and I wanted to get Big Man's take because him and I, this is our backyard from up there. And, the last game, it was a big spread. They came nowhere near covering a half for the game. But this is that game I think Jay Wright grabs that troops and says, hey, look, we're a lot better than this. We should be.
They actually did cover that game against Creighton somehow. They actually did win by 10. They covered the game, which is hard to believe.
Which one was Villanova against the first? You had them on the first.
Yeah, DePaul.
That was the one I'm speaking of. Yeah, that's the one. But I really think this is a great spot. I think they're on the road. I think Nova plays a hell of a lot better on the road at certain times. All right. And just like Big Man said, it's been a long time. All right. A long time since Butler hosted a #1. That's a lot of freaking pressure, whether you know it or not. And it gets into not only the coach's head, but it also gets into these young players' head. I think Villanova goes in there and demands and controls this game. I'm all over it. It's one of my plays. I'm taking Nova.
And Mike,
on the first half
you made a great point about Villanova on the road. They've covered all 3 on the road this year. They've covered 16 of 25. And you mentioned my backyard. This team was profiled last night on Comcast Sports and a local channel around here. The main question was, they're not being talked about. All you hear about is Duke and Kansas and all these other teams. They're fine with that. They've made it clear. They're just looking to continue to win. The schedules are tough, but listen, it's very tough to beat Villanova no matter how hard you play.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
doubt.
Creighton was valiant. I mean, they led in that game. They had great spurts in that game. They still lost by 10. Villanova,
Exactly.
I'm not wanting to jump in front of that right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's not all forget Butler's had some games this year that haven't been too pretty, and some losses that were not really respectable. So let's get real with that. I love that play. I can't wait for that one to start up, guys.
Okay, and then the next one in a similar vein that I kind of liked on the overnight that has moved. I actually took it. I took Oklahoma State -1.5.
Yeah,
now it's up to 2 or 2.5.
Love it, baby.
And Texas, I'm just not really a buyer on Texas right now. And Oklahoma State seems like they do have some life. It's gone up, which you know, I got it 1.5, but there's still some twos. What do you think about that one, big man?
Yeah, I'm really on the same wavelength as you, Peter.
Mhm.
Year after year, Texas just continues to get recruits. They continue to get good players, but they never are cohesive. They never work together. Shaka Smart, long term, I think 3-4 years, that's going to be a good team. But
not right now,
right now, they're Oklahoma State well coached, a great scoring team, and that pressure against Texas guards, that might hurt them. I'm not looking to back Texas going forward at all.
And you know what? I got a good analogy, I think, anyway. The same way with Shaka Smart in Texas, and it's going to take time because I believe in what he does. It's kind of the same thing in football with James Franklin, what he did and how he did it with Penn State, albeit they had that devastating loss the other night. But same type of thing. I believe in where he's going. It's going to take time because Texas was a freaking mess there towards the end. I think you're looking right now at Oklahoma State team that doesn't.
Texas is the most overrated sports program in the country.
No doubt about it.
They have one good year in each sport with Durant and Vince Young, and automatically they're overrated. They're not a good football or basketball program.
Good call.
Interesting.
As
we talk, though, that is the one line that is moving right now. It was 2 or 2.5. Basically, when I started this topic, and now it's down.
You bet it this morning. I guarantee the money that you bet it, you probably moved the freaking line.
No,
Peter, I do want to make a point in that conference. You saw last night with West Virginia, that conference is very home driven. Kansas, a blatant travel call, not called. You get a lot of calls at home. I would not be surprised. That's a weird game. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go either way. I've learned in that conference, when you're getting a small road favorite, it's almost beneficial to take the home team just because they're going to get the calls. I mean, West Virginia, Texas Tech got a ton of foul calls that West Virginia didn't get.
And you know what? West Virginia didn't even shoot 50% from the foul line. My God. And you know what? Huggins says he doesn't let the guys end practice until they shoot 100 free throws. And somebody said, you know what? I'd like to see a video of that because those guys suck on the line.
I saw the same thing. I don't buy that for a minute. No way.
Yeah, me neither. I'll tell you what, though. I had a good night in college last night. I went 4-1. I was also on top of Kansas State. All right, they got up for that game. They handled that thing. They damn sure almost got the whole win. There's one other game I like, guys, and I'm telling you, I think it's going to be a nice play. I like South Carolina. I like Frank Martin tonight against Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, South Carolina's getting back their leading scorer, right?
Yes, yes, they are. Yeah. What's that line at right now, Pistol?
Let me find that game. I can't find it. Towards the bottom. Oh, there it is. Plus 1.5.
Plus 1.5. I think this is an outright. What do you think, big man, with Frank Martin?
Point to be made in college basketball. When they suspend a player, he's still allowed to practice with the team. He's still allowed to travel, which I find to be beneficial to that team. Either way, he's still involved in the monotony of the season. Yeah, getting him back's huge. I think against Georgia, it's going to pay dividends. Problem with Georgia is they've kind of owned South Carolina recently. I think, though, this year, South Carolina is probably one of its better teams. I actually like that play, getting points. I think they get the job done. Georgia's good, but they're not that good.
Yeah, and I think Frank Martin's a better coach than Mark Fox. It's taking nothing away from him. I just think the quality of players he had, and this is one of the better teams he's had. So I love it. I think it's gonna get done, and that's where I'm going tonight, between Nova, Oklahoma State, and South Carolina, baby.
There's one other game we have to talk about, and that's Louisville. That's Louisville at Notre Dame. These guys usually play very, very tight games. And this one is the spread is open at 2.5. Now it's down to a Louisville -1.
Right?
Yeah, it's at Notre Dame. I don't know. Again, I guess I'd be leading Louisville here, but maybe it's just a 10-foot full game. What do you think, big man?
I'm pretty high on Notre Dame. I really like them year after year.
I like Mike Bragg.
I like Mike Bragg. I like the veteran cohesiveness. The problem with Notre Dame year after year is they don't have a particular inside presence, and it hurts them at times. But look, they're off a really nice win against Pittsburgh. Going in and winning that game the way they did is impressive. What Louisville team will show up? Will it be the team that beat Kentucky at home, or will it be the team in the last game, that didn't look particularly good? I don't know.
Not at all. Yeah.
I like the way Notre Dame at the end of games are the best free throw shooting team in the country. They put games away, shooting the ball over 84% from the line. They're really good offensively. It's going to be interesting to see how they play against a good defense. I actually have a slight lean to Notre Dame. They haven't lost at home, 9-0. And I don't bet against Notre Dame. It's the Catholic in me, I guess.
He's like me. We're grown up the
Yeah,
same.
yeah. You don't bet against Notre Dame. That's the cardinal rule. And I like Notre Dame. I have year after year, and I think this year they're a pretty solid team. I'm not a big buyer in Louisville.
You know, my thoughts on this was Louisville emptied the tank, left everything on the floor against Kentucky, and it showed the game after. Now, going into South Bend, all right, Mike Bray's got these guys believing. They're young, and they're very, very good at home. And you had touched on it. They need that presence underneath. All right, when Pat Connaughton was there, he was able to be underneath and bring the game outside. He had a long-range game as well. They haven't really replaced that, but there's a non-selfish team, and Mike Bray said it. This team is so unselfish that it's amazing. So with that being said, I think you got Louisville kind of scratching their head. And like you said, big man, which team's going to show up? I don't ever bet against Notre Dame either. It's that Catholic upbringing, and from Philadelphia, But I know one thing: I would definitely lean Notre Dame. I would not back Louisville in this one.
All right. Well, we touched on all the major games, although there's some other games that are interesting as well. Like for instance, For instance, Creighton going at St. John's, and then Virginia Tech right off of the Duke game. Let's from around the rest of the card. Mike Brenner, are there any other games that have caught your eye? Then we'll go to Big Man, and then we'll go to
there's one in Baylor's at home against Iowa State. Right? I don't know. I think that might be a lot of points. I think Iowa State could go in there and maybe surprise some people with those points. It kind of reminds me a little of Big Man and yours Old Miss pick with that 13.5. I think Baylor might take it a little easy tonight. I don't know yet, but I'm kind of looking at that one. Wanted y'all's thoughts on it.
Big Man, you have anything to say about that one? Baylor's been kind of also like Villanova, not talked about as much as the other teams.
Yeah, but I think, Peter, that's because they seem to do this every year. They seem to dominate the non-conference schedule, go 12 or 13-0, and then kind of falter. I don't know. Iowa State, I've had some poor luck with them year after year, every year. Yeah. I will point out, though, they're playing a lot better defense, and I think that's going to really help them long term. But they go in these spurts where when I back them, they just really don't want to score, and it's just kind of irritating for me. I like Baylor. I like some of the inside presence they have. The problem with Iowa State is they don't have a huge inside presence either. As far as free throws, they've had issues as well. Shooting the ball at 65% from the line. I have a cardinal rule. I don't really look to bet teams below 70%. I just, towards the end of the game, 19, 20-year-olds on the foul line, if you can get a good team against a bad team, you're going to win games. And that's what's happened this year in certain games for me. So I'm not one to play it. I actually would probably go with the dog here, but it's not going to be a game I'm interested at all in.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And I was thinking about under, but 135 is the
total. He brought up a great point. I think the viewers need to grab that because it is also one of my tools. And I love the way you think like that, big man. If a team does not have a respectable percent on the foul line, I stay off them as well. Sure. John Wooden, back in the day, said great teams win championships with absolute dominant free throw percentage. And with that being said, too many coaches now, they got these one and done guys. They're all trying to do the dunks and everything 3-point land. The coach that disciplines his team to shoot the free throws, that's the team I'm looking to back. Great point, big man.
And we have another situation in the Big 12 here where you got a home team that's going to get a lot more foul calls probably. I'm not interested in Iowa State.
Okay. All right, big man. Are there any other games that you want to bring to our attention?
Yeah, quickly. Indiana State. I've mentioned them this year. I really like this game. They're playing Southern Illinois. They're an underdog, another small road dog, Peter. Best player for Southern Illinois, probably not going to play tonight. I think against the senior guards of Indiana State, it's going to pose a little bit of a problem. Indiana State's covered 5 of 6 or 8 of 9 this year as an underdog. They're good on the road, playing with revenge. Southern Illinois beat them twice last year. I just think Indiana State's the better team. I think they go on the road here against a hobbled Southern Illinois team and get the job done. Two quickly other ones. Another small road dog. I like Miami against Syracuse. This Syracuse team is having major issues.
They're not a dog anymore. They're not a dog anymore, pal.
Okay. Well, either way, anything under 1.5, I'm going to take the money line either way. Now, guys, Syracuse is in a horrible state mentally. You look at what Jim Boeheim said.
It's time for him to go, buddy. He's got to go. That's my opinion. I think Boeheim has overstayed his welcome 5 years.
I mean, again, 96 points to give it to Boston College, another bad loss. They're not playing well. Miami's covered 4 or 5 in Cuse. And look, Miami, you can't get a hotter team right now in the ACC, really. They're playing really well. This team looks lost, Syracuse, not only running their offense, but defending. They've given up a ton of points lately. Mentally right now, no wins against the top 50 RPI. Listen, the bad spot. I think Miami goes in and beats a bad team right now. Syracuse has some major issues. You mentioned Creighton St. John's. I think the way to look in this game, if I was getting 8 or 9 points, I'd look to the dog. St. John's, though, playing good basketball right now.
They really are. Chris Mullen said he's liking what he's seeing right now, big man.
But the problem for me is at what point, because we know it's going to happen, what point do they revert back to being the team that lost to Delaware State and LIU Brooklyn? That's my point.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
I think this one's high scoring. I think this one goes up and down. 4 straight overs between these teams. Both average about 80 points a game, and St. John's is 10-4 to the over. The one problem with Creighton, not very good defensively. Tonight should see a track meet. I like the over personally in this game. I think we see a high tempo game.
Breakdown for big man, baby. I love it.
What is the total? Let's see what the total 160. You like even at 160, huh?
Yeah, I think I think both these teams get into the 80s. Honestly, Creighton 95 points a game on the road. One of the best field goal percentage teams in the country, and both teams shoot the ball over 40% from 3. That's key as well. This should go up and down, and don't be surprised to see St. John's, another good effort. Their guards have been very good this year, and they're playing inspired under their boy Chris Mullen there. So,
hey guys, I got to make this point real quick also, because after we had our show yesterday and I was on Kentucky, I went a little deeper in research because a friend of mine hit me up. He's like, "You better check it out." 3 games prior to that, A&M took them to overtime. Always tight battles against Kentucky. All right, and I remember, Pete, I said, have you ever thought about, what I do? All right, but I stuck with it. All right, stuck with it. I think Kentucky made a statement last night, guys. They buried this fucking team, buried them damn near by 50. I think the way they played last night, I don't see Duke. I don't see anybody else right now that caliber. I think they would blow Kansas out of the water. That's my opinion.
The thing that has to be pointed out is they get the best recruits in the country. I follow recruiting pretty strongly. They get the best players. They're the most talented athletic team in the country. It's just they continue to play and not lose interest, because at the end of the day, they're all multimillionaires that are going to go to the next level and make $20 million a year. Or $15 million. So again,
there's one thing the public doesn't really take into consideration. It's why I really love and respect Calipari. Right? He does. He gets the best talent there, and he also is the only coach I know that can take a 1 or 2 year and done player and make them gel quick. And this is that time they start feeling it. And again, his statement was, "This is one of the most unselfish teams I've had, one of the most intelligent teams, and they're teachable." He is a genius in these 1 and 2 year and out, keeping them motivated. Yes, you're exactly right. But this is that point they start picking up momentum. I'm telling you, next 2 games, you guys better watch out. Kentucky's going to bury some people.
And no offense, but their conference isn't very good either. I mean, they don't have a lot working with there.
I know.
But you're right, Mike. To make money, Kentucky's very good. Very good.
Right.
All right, and then just quickly to wrap it up, 2 things that I was thinking about. One of them, one I was liking more, was UMass. UMass is kind of a good team. Yeah, and I got it at 5.5 on the overnight. Now it's going down to 4. At 4, I like it a little bit less, but I'm leaning UMass. And then I was thinking about Auburn. Auburn is kind of a young team, but with talent. And Vanderbilt, I'm not exactly sure if I would they should be given 5.5. I wish I were getting a few more points, but I'm also leaning Auburn plus 5.5, but stronger, leaning UMass, although now it's down to 4. I guess I would still lean them at plus 4, but liking them less. And before we wrap up college basketball, big man, you have anything to say about those opinions?
Yeah, I like Auburn, Peter. They were close to being a play for me in this video here. I mean, they're young, they're well coached. They played really well. The problem is they're off of a collapsing loss. I mean, they were up big against Georgia and lost. Vanderbilt, I mean, I feel like at some point they're gonna start to play well, but they haven't really put it all together this year with a new coaching staff there with Bryce Drew. Auburn needs to continue. I don't know that they have a signature win. This would be a big one going down the stretch to get it. I just don't know. They're young. They're hard to kind of deal with. And they have some suspensions right now. So
another coach that you give him another year, I'm telling you, Bryce Drew, he's the right man for that job. I really like that kid.
I agree. I think as far as plays, though, I like Miami money line, Creighton over 160, and Indiana State as a small dog.
All right, so that's what's your favorite play?
I guess I would say UMass plus 4.
Okay. All right. My biggest play out of all of them today is Villanova, baby. Full game. I love it. What was that shot line?
-1.
-1. Woo! I love it.
All right.
Take the money line, Mike.
And then we got some NBA. You guys have anything to say about NBA? Some interesting stuff from Golden State.
I got a lot to say, but
Golden State, once again, a huge home favorite. And I didn't look at any of the ones that didn't have overnights, but Golden State has a huge home favorite. Is it Portland started to play?
With that.
Yeah, Portland started to play some stronger defense. And
McCollum, remember that one video we did? I said McCollum hasn't done shit now. Last 3 or 4 games, he's averaged 30 points. I swear that guy's watching our videos, guys.
And then we got OKC and Charlotte, Kemba Walker against Westbrook, and then Atlanta and Orlando. And Orlando's, started to be really an impressive offensive.
Philadelphia last night.
Very nice call on that one. And so I was thinking about the over in Atlanta, Orlando, and I was thinking about maybe the first half under in Portland, Golden State, if Portland continues to play that lockdown defense, and then maybe in the second half, if they get down, they say forget about it. But they might at least try in the first half to slow it down. Anything you guys want to throw in about NBA?
Much for NBA. I'm going to save that for the show. I got to break in. Big man.
All right.
No, we have any questions? We taking any or no or what?
That's you guys.
Hit us up, Matty Ice.
All right. What was the name of that college? I couldn't remember the other.
Quinnipiac?
Canisius.
Oh,
Canisius, yeah.
Got a lot of questions on that again today, so lay that on me.
Well, they covered.
Yeah, they covered.
Yeah, barely by what half? By 1
Canisius
point
versus Quinnipiac. That would be a good one. Hey, where's Quinnipiac at?
It's in Connecticut.
I got to tell you, I got to tell the listeners.
Wait, where
Hold on.
they playing? Oh yeah, they're playing Quinnipiac. What did I think about that one? I think that one was a pass for me.
Yeah, 10-foot pole for me.
I think it was a pass for me. Yeah,
numbers too big. I'm seeing some comments on that game.
Yeah.
I gotta love some of the listeners, man. You got to get 60 games on the card. We're looking at Quinnipiac.
I know, I love it too.
Listen, these are schools they're kind of in my wheelhouse, but I don't know. Quinnipiac right now is a mess. Look, they're always going to rebound. That's Quinnipiac's thing. They rebound the basketball. Listen, you're laying 7.5 of Canisius. You might want to rethink how you're doing things in life. But I don't have a huge opinion on it. It does look like too many points, if you ask me.
Yeah, Pistol Pete, this is his kind of conference, his kind of game. He thrives on.
Well, they're a very, very unpredictable team. Like against Brown, they were way down, and then they came way back. So it's just they're kind of one of these unpredictable teams. I have no play on it right now.
If I can say it, this is a conference is a total shit show. I mean, there's no team in this conference that wants to take aim. Monmouth looks brutal lately. This is just a brutal conference.
It really went backwards. Yep. All right. What do we got?
It was in South Carolina, Georgia.
Yeah, I love it. I'm on South Carolina. I think Frank Martin now coaches Mark Fox. They're getting their player back, their best scorer. I like it. I'm not backing off of that one. I think it's a solid deal on the road.
Agreed.
All right. Well, you guys covered pretty much all the other
games. All right. Well, big man, let's keep this thing rolling. I love it. Thank you for your input. And thank you for giving our viewers the tips to cash those tickets. We're going to give them.
Listen, I'm 12-3 since I started with you.
I know.
So
I know.
You got to bet the picks. I'm giving them for free. You know what do you?
That's it. And we do the same. We're doing. Hey, we're right up there with you with our record since we started this.
You guys are doing some great things for everybody. I think everyone appreciates it. So
we appreciate you and all our viewers too. That's why we're paying it forward. And guess what? The odds couple's going to keep coming to you.
Hey, can I get a mug? I got a mug. I got this plain mug here.
Auburn went to 5. Yes, I'll get you a mug.
Auburn went down to 5. We got to jump on that one.
Yeah. Auburn's at 5. Jump on it. I'll get you the mug. No problem.
Line's going down. The line's going down. All right.
When you get off the plane, I'll pick you up at the airport, and I'll have my mug in your hand, and then I'll have that girl from Nitro Garage on the left.
What could I ask for any more? I could ask for nothing more, Mike.
Yeah, we need 3 hands to hold all that one, big man. Matty Ice chimed in. All right, buddy. Have a great day. And viewers, tune in tomorrow to the Odds Couple College Basketball Show. Big Man on Campus is going to be in with us again every Tuesday and every Thursday. Appreciate it, guys. Bet responsible. Beat your bookie. Build that bank.